Yeah, no, thanks for the invite. It's pretty interesting. I think I agree with you. I think the AI that replaces the business person is really quite a long way down the road. And I'm just wondering, actually, do we really want to replace? Because I think as far as I can see, for the foreseeable future, we will always want some human verification. I work in the data science field, and we do the product we work on is AI driven, and so we do have experience of, let's say, at the simplistic level, models going out of date, right? So models needing retraining, and that's actually a very difficult problem to keep track of, right? So how do you verify that what the AI is building is going to last into the future and not become, let's say, a rogue, which is what Bill Gates and everyone's mentions in the past. So I mean, these kind of things, these are the kind of social psychological problems that we need to deal with. It's not just a machine solution. And the other interesting area, I think, which you kind of touched on a little bit, is, and maybe your thoughts on this, is AI generated code. You describe a problem, it generates the code. Now, how will we actually see that code? Would that code be, let's say, okay, well, you've got this byte level code, but as a human, I only understand it in Python, or I understand it in Java or something, or how do I know that code is optimally written? I need some sort of interpretation and how it was most efficient, etc. So I don't know, your thoughts in this area.
Yeah, so it sounds like two questions. So the first question is, are robots going to kill the whole world and take over everything and be rogue? So I mean, that is a philosophical question, and so my whole thesis here is that that's not going to happen for a long time, but it will happen eventually. I don't think we can stop it, but I think we can build other kinds of. I mean, if there's bad rogue AI systems, then we'll have to build good AI systems that actually help us out. But I mean, I don't think it's. I think there is a problem. I think that is going to happen. So I'm going to leave it there, because I mean that's a whole separate concept. Yeah, in actually, if there's generated code, a trickster, in our view, we're looking at ways to generate code that is real code that you could actually post into Git and actually look at. Mm-hmm. But I do think we need more and more tools to look at the code as well, to kind of break it down, to allow you to understand it on a more abstract and high level. I don't think that we need humans to maybe change that code or tweak it directly, because I think we will have systems which do that well. So it's just a question of does it achieve what is asked for. So I think we need tooling, whether it's visual or some types of analytics, to see, are we solving the real business problem. And I think those are the kinds of systems we're building, and there's a lot more we would like to do there. I think there's a general problem in code, because these days systems are really, really complex, and in most cases code is a black box, because somebody writes 1 million lines of code. There's no way you're going to look at that. All you're going to do is call that code, send in some inputs, it'll do something, it'll send you back information. We always have to trust it, and we can trust it by its behavior rather than actually the code itself. And I think in the long run, I think that's what is going to happen. But feel free to disagree on that.
No, I mean, I think there's a real challenge in writing optimal codes. Describing a problem is one thing, but actually having an optimal solution is a real challenge. I think if you do make it work and it writes optimal code and outputs in a language I like, then everyone's code will look the same, right? Because it'll all be generated in an optimal way. Is there a space for a program in the end? Is another question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think there's going to be a phase. I don't think it's going to go straight from where we are now to everything's AI driven. So there's going to be a few years of, or many years, probably decades of transition from where we are now to then. But I do think it is going to change. I do think software developers are going to be operating very differently in the future.